Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of my themed house build series. In this episode, what I'm going to be working on is a house made entirely out of Blackstone and Blackstone derivatives. So the blocks that we're going to be working with are all here. So regular Blackstone, as well as slabs and stairs, polished Blackstone, as well as slabs and stairs, the chiseled Blackstone, the polished Blackstone bricks, as well as the cracked polished Blackstone bricks, and the gilded Blackstone. So the Blackstone with the gold in it. I really love this block. On top of that, we also have the 3 different types of walls, and then pressure plates and buttons that you can make out of it. And then you can also make furnaces and brewing stands out of Blackstone, so I might use those in some way. Now, there's no lighting sources that use Blackstone as part of them, so what I've decided is to only use lighting sources that come from the nether specifically or are made of nether blocks. So the soul soil and soul sand lighting sources such as the torch, campfire, and the lantern, as well as the glowstone and the shroom light. I really like the way that the blue and the black go together, so that's why I really want to use a lot of the soul sand, soul soil derivative lighting options, and I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to use these two. So these are all of the blocks that are available to us to make this base, and the space that I've chosen for it is over here. We're going to come up this way, and then I'm going to build a sort of castle into the terrain over here. I'm going to have to remove quite a few blocks from up above, and then what I plan on doing is having the back of the castle connect to the netherrack and everything in behind it, so it's sort of built into the landscape. And then I will re-terraform the ceiling and the ground anywhere where it doesn't quite work out right. And all of it is going to be connected to where another portal comes out here by a upward sloping bridge-like walkway that is going to be supported from the sides below, make it look nice. This is just to show where it's going to start and where it's going to end, and then I believe the castle is going to start somewhere around here. But the first thing that I want to do is get this connected up, make a sort of bridge here, and then remove quite a few blocks from up here just to give us a better idea of the space that we're working with. Okay, so what I've done is I have built up a nice bridge design. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I've also texturized it already as well. And I even put in some supports underneath because I don't usually like it when my nice builds are just floating in the air. So I built some supports and I've got these hanging lights and everything. I'm really liking that. And then I also laid out where the front door is going to be. And I also built a flying door. So if you hit that right there, it flies up into position, and you hit it again, and it flies down. Unfortunately, there are a couple of blocks that you're going to see that aren't Blackstone just because of the way that this door works, but that is not a big deal. We'll be able to block around most of it, and I think that this looks really nice, especially when it is closed like that. It's even got the depth to it with the stairs and the texturizing. I'm really happy with this. I went for the polished around the outside and the not polished, the brick on the inside, and I want to continue using that contrast as I move out. And I removed quite a few blocks here, but I'm also planning on like embedding this in the wall, so I don't want to remove too much because I want to use the natural terrain a little bit as well. And sort of what I've done here is laid out one side of where the castle is going to come out. It's not going to be absolutely massive, but even this is quite a big build. So I've laid this out and I'm going to mirror that on the other side as well. I want to knock this down one layer just to bring everything a bit closer together. But I'm really loving this block palette so far, and I want to start using the different types of lights and a couple of different variations of the blocks. I've used the walls here as well, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here, whether I continue this across or use this as a depth texture, but I'm just going to kind of see where it goes. So the first thing that I'm going to do now is mirror this to the other side just so that it's nice and symmetrical. And then I'm going to build up the general size of it, and then I'm going to add the features like windows and everything and put in the interior. The last thing that I wanted to do here is just kind of show you how this door works. So it is a flying machine door. You can see it if you come down in here. So it's sort of two flying machines stacked together. Slime on the back, honey on the front, and then they intersect. So all said and done, it's actually 10 flying machines to be able to do the push limit. And then it's just activated by a simple string of observers, which fires these droppers here into some hoppers, which then put the item back, which is 2 ticks, which is what the observers need to start a flying machine. And then I've got shulker boxes here, I'm sure you can see, because I just needed a black block that was immovable for where those blocks touch. So that's why you see shulker boxes around, and I'm actually going to have them here as well in these empty positions, just because the slime and everything flies past them. But no, I'm really happy with how this door worked. I'm going to put a button on the inside as well so that you can get out. But now I am going to do a little bit of building, and I think I'm going to do a little third-person time-lapse as I sort of figure it out as well, just so that you can sort of see the process. So let's get it going. And there we go. We have the general sort of shape of the castle and a little bit of decoration. I've put in some windows and some doorways out onto these patios up top. I put in a floor up here just to give a level. I haven't put any kind of floor in the downstairs yet, but I need to do that as well. I have marked out the center at the back here because the staircase that I want to do... Oh, did I mark out the center? Yes, just didn't feel like a center once I was in here. Yeah, the staircase that I want to do is going to lead up and around. I want to do sort of like a double spiral staircase around a fire/nether portal right here. And then, yeah, just fill all of this in. I'm not going to do too much interior. This is more about the build than the furnishing, but that, I still want to do a lot of texturizing on the walls. I just filled them in with one type of block, but texturizing, the roofs aren't done, stairs and slabs, I want to make that a lot more interesting. What else do we still need to do here? We need to finish the walkway up towards the building so that it is coated in Blackstone, just like that. One more. Do we not line up here? Oh, that's bad. This is a 4 block wide and that's a 5 block wide. Ooh. Well, I messed up there, but it is what it is. It'll be 4 to 5, I guess. At some point it needs to become bigger. Usually the way that you deal with something like this is make it sort of irregular so that it doesn't feel like you've made a mistake. Just make it sort of irregular like that, and now it kind of works. Probably one more block under there and under there, and then it sort of winds its way over here. That's not too bad. So yeah, I want to do a lot of the interior stuff still, and the other thing that still needs to be done is I really want to try and tie this in up here. So I want to make it sort of irregular how it's in the ceiling, how it pops out like this, sort of like that, and then it'll come up, and it's sort of poking out in the center is the sort of idea here. Maybe even a little bit deeper here with the ceiling like that, so the ceiling kind of swallows a little bit of it. It's not too bad. And then up over here, swallows it in. This is all just adding depth to the build. A little bit there just to cover that over. There, there. One more block. There, that's nice. And then here we can come back like this, down and across, giving it even more texture. That's pretty good. And then do want to cover this side as well. Don't make it too flat. There we go. Not too bad. And I might even close this sooner because this looks really flat right here. So I take this out, quite a few blocks right there, and then I were to bring this up here, just like that, and then sort of bring it back into that. It looks sort of natural. Depth. There we go. Yes, that's even. That already starts to look better, and like the castle is coming out of what's here. And even over here, we could do it with the soul soil to make it look like it's blending into the biome here. So give it a little bit of this soul soil treatment. Like that. That's nice. And then the same down this side. Bring it over like that. Nice. And there. Yeah, look at that. I really like that. Bring this up a little bit like that. There we go. And now it looks like it's totally jutting out of the landscape, and I mean, it can even be a little bit more irregular around the base. Just like that, and a little bit on this side. You can see there's a touch of soul soil here, but if we expand this even a little bit more, I think it could look quite good. It could be a bit lower there, a bit higher over here even, bit of soul soil. There we go. Yes, I really like that. And then I want to have that big feature portal slash fireplace back here, so we need to get some obsidian and some crying obsidian for that. And I want this portal to be the full size back here. Hopefully it's not too big. I think it should work. So we want to do obsidian all the way around here, all the way up to the top. A couple more obsidian, obsidian, and then across. One too high. That doesn't matter. There we go. The obsidian in there. Punch out all these center blocks so that we can actually light the portal. There. That's nice. This is going to be nice and big, and it's going to be a big feature as you first walk into this place. don't technically need the corners, but we'll put them in anyway. And then we need a flint and steel to light it. There we go. And then what I want this to sort of be is a fireplace. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Go back through. Need this to be a... That's going to be impossible. Let's just break that. Wow, that was loud. Fireplace like that. That. Yeah, that could work. Or even that. And then like that. What about... Need some slabs. Polished slabs. That's quite good. And then we need the campfires, the soul campfires. Do we want them on this height or do we want them on the next height? I think we want maybe a combination of this, and maybe even a little bit higher. If it came up to there and we did some sort of sign here, instead of doing those slabs, we did this. Lame, and then slab over that and block. It's not too bad. Still add to this. Big fireplace, and then what would happen if we then lit the portal? That's pretty good, and then what I still want to do is get some texture into here. Oh, I misplaced that stair. That's nice. Look at that. Yes, this is coming together. Really like that as the centerpiece as we come in here, but then what it's going to turn into is also here is where I'm planning for the staircase to come up. So what I want to do is have the staircase go up in like 2 places here. Probably around here. What is that over? That's 2, 3 from the edge. So 1, 2, 3. So that would be there and there. And we would continue it going up like this until it got to the corner, and then we would turn and they would come up to meet each other in the center. To be upstairs for this, and I think that's going to look really good. So I'm going to work a bunch on texturizing and everything here, do a little bit of another third person to get some of this done a bit faster. And yeah, let's check that out. And there we go. I have finished up the texturizing and the walls. I finished up this fireplace and the staircase in here. The nether portal is all good. Look at the stairs that I've wrapped around here. Put in a ceiling here. I thought this was really interesting. I used walls and gilded blackstone to create this sort of effect ceiling that when you walk along, it reveals the gold. Added lighting all around. I think this looks really interesting. I textured in some gilded blackstone in places. Lanterns, everything. I covered most of the door mechanism as much as I could in here as well. Made that look all nice. I am so happy with how this build has turned out. And I think it's going to make me want to build with Blackstone more in the future, especially I just love how it's sort of jutting out of the wall here, and it feels like you can't even see all of it, like it's a castle. No, I'm super happy with this. When I first wanted to start this series, this build series, I thought, oh, I'll make these bases that are like totally functional and I'll put chests and everything in them. And it's not about that. It's about making something beautiful with this palette of blocks and limiting yourself a little bit, but it makes you have to be even more creative with it for different ways to do things and ways to make things interesting and ways to make things stand out. So I am super happy with how this has turned out. Let me know what you think of the build down in the comments below, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that, but I will see you in the next one. Bye!